Tuesday, October the 11th. So you guys know that thing where we sort of weaponize Cindy? We take Cindy, but we just break it down and we say rounds of Cindy included with some other larger context of a WOD. Well, DT can be that way too. And you guys kind of knew that. Angie can be the same way. A lot of benchmarks can be that way. So today, we're gonna do longer DT, longer by a round, but also with a run, right? And also with a mile and a half of running. So, I mean, I don't know. Can you guys see this? Let's just all pray that that the weather is as nice when you do this as it is when I do. I already know. I'm sorry, 6 a.m., but you guys are tougher and fitter for the time of day that you work out. So we got running and we got DT. And how does this fit into the overall larger picture of the cycle? Well, this is an Olympic weightlifting cycle, as you know, whereas the complexes that we'll do on Mondays and Fridays will be sort of lower volume, really just like, can you do these pieces of the Olympic weightlifting movement correctly for quality versus spending a lot of time under load and a lot of time under tension. Although some time under tension, but definitely not a ton of volume. We got to find other ways to get that stuff in, but it can't be too much, right? We can't overwork the barbell movements if we really do want quality on Mondays and Fridays. So I don't know if anybody's paying attention. Last week, we only picked up a barbell on a WOD one time, and that was on Monday. And then we didn't touch a barbell in the WOD again for the rest of the week. This week's a little bit different. We already know you had a snatch WOD yesterday, kind of like last week. So we're gonna pick up a barbell today, and then I can guarantee you that we will pick up a barbell again sometime this week. So, you know, all things in balance as they should be, everything in moderation as it should be. And hopefully this week fits the bill with that. What is DT? If you've never done DT before, it does not have running in it. It is 5 rounds of, we're just gonna break this down 1 round at a time. 5 rounds of 12 deadlifts, 9 hang power cleans, and then 6 push jerks. And typically that is at prescribed weights of 155 for the gentlemen and 105 for the ladies. And today we will say no heavier than that. If you're doing those movements and you have done DT before, how do you modify today's workout? Well, you definitely are gonna do at least the weight that you've done for DT in the past. That just makes perfect sense, right? And if you're someone who's never RX'd DT, we're going with a 40-minute cap today, and you're only asked to do a round of DT at a time, yes, albeit under fatigue from the run. So this is testing your ability to lift weight under fatigue. So what I'm asking is today the day where you step up the weight a little bit and challenge yourself? The only way the answer to that question is yes, although of course we want as many people getting as close to the prescribed weights as possible. The only reason that you would say yes to that question today is if you think that you can still solidly move the barbell, cycling, right? So yeah, you could do 105, 155 and deadlift the singles and do a couple of hang power cleans at a time, but we all know that that's not the intention of DT. The intention of DT is also not to take forever to do it. There's always a cycling component. So I would say, if you feel like you can cycle through half of the volume of each individual movement, so 6-6 for the deadlift, so the deadlift should almost always be 11 and 1, 4 and 5 of the hang power cleans, and 3 and 3 of the push jerks, and you feel like you could do that with minimal rest or the same amount of rest on a round-to-round basis, then today is the day to try to pick up the weights a little bit. And we would applaud that. If you feel like if you could do that, but it'd be a lot of standing around, a lot of singles, today's not the day. All right, but by the way, I think I made it clear, but let's just say it plainly. Whatever you have done for DT in the past, because this is a benchmark workout that we've done 4 times in the last year and a half. The heaviest version of that you've done before is probably the weight you should be using today, minimally. All right, so I've said that. How did I do this one? So the run, I just don't think it makes a lot of sense. You know, you are either somebody who loves the run and hates the weightlifting, or loves the weightlifting and hates the run. It's probably unlikely that you're going to be somebody who's like, no, I love both of these things. unlikely. So I don't think that this is the workout where the run is going to be your, your fastest pace 400 meters, only because we're testing your ability to lift weight under fatigue. And that's, to me, seems like that would cause a lot of fatigue, so much so that you'd have to rest and not be able to pick up the barbell right away, which is kind of not what we want. So we want somewhere in between. Strategy. I think that you should be able to run a moderately paced 400 and then immediately be able to pick up the deadlift. That's what I think. So what I did today was, I thought going into it, it's only one round of DT at a time, so I might be able to hold on to the barbell the entire time. And I immediately, after one run, was like, no, not possible. But what I could do was 11 deadlifts, drop it. That was when my rest took place. So then I took probably a significant rest after that, maybe 15 to 20 seconds I rested, because I wanted to rest long enough to go unbroken the rest of the way, and I did. So then it was pick the barbell back up for my 12th deadlift, then lower to start my hang power cleans, all 9 of those. Take a deep breath when the bar is up in my front rack, ready for the push jerks, and then go unbroken on the 6 push jerks, knowing that unbroken just means I haven't put the barbell down. If I need to rest here in the front rack, a couple deep breaths, I can. If I need to rest, or if I'm someone who can rest overhead, or at least know how to sort of stack the shoulders so that you're not using a ton of energy when the bar is overhead, this is a beautiful day for that as well. So obviously we're looking to get done the barbell work as quick as possible, and just a competitive enough run that it's not burning us out for the lifting, but is also not something where we're walking around the parking lot. All right, 7-minute video to explain that. Unnecessary, Tim, unnecessary. See you guys.